tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Diving deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the fight by lore. Diving deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the fight by lore. Diving deep and search for more.
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it. Another stream, another live. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan HQ Network. I am your host. Man, I cannot talk today. I'm your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody doing tonight? So let's get this guy in here because we want to start the show with a little laughter because I got some bad news. Yeah, do your jiggle. Do you jiggle? No, no. Yeah. Greg, what's going on, my man? How are you tonight?
Very, very good there, Sparta. How you doing, brother?
Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, I gotta start with some bad news tonight. So, breaking news: the co-founder of Sega, David Ross. He's a pioneer. He was the reason why we have video games today. He has passed at 95 years old. It was tragic. We lost two major roles of characters of gaming. He's the reason why we have gaming the way it is today. Um, his loss is going to be felt all through the gaming community. I hate starting shows like this. I really do. It breaks my heart when I have to make this announcement. But as a network, we have to make these announcements.
That ain't bad. 95, that ain't bad.
No, but still, it's sad to see him go.
Yeah. At least
So
he's had a good run.
yeah. Let me see if I can put a picture of him if you guys are not familiar with him, because he was a pioneer, like beyond pioneer. He here. I got something for you. Here, let me show you guys this. So this is David Ross, like I said, from Sega. Unfortunately, we lost him. It feels like we're losing a lot of good legends lately. Hopefully, this will be the last of the legends. But anyway, the show title tonight is "A Woman Does Not Need a Job to Raise a Child." Greg, you're a father. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, Nikki, she was on her own for couple of years,
Mhm.
trying to raise Freddie on her own. Not for 2 years, should I say. And she was working in a nursery alongside him. So she felt like it was better for her. Basically, kept her sanity. Otherwise, she sits at home doing jack all.
So
Apart
you
from
saying
that,
you think a mother needs
no,
a
it's
job?
entirely it's down to their preference. It's down to what they want to do, isn't it?
Mhm.
If they want to work, they can work. If they want to afford a babysitter so they can go out and work, a lot of women do that.
I have mixed feelings behind this because part of me says no, you don't need a job to raise a child, and I'm kind of speaking out of context because I am not a father, but she should be focused on raising the child. But in the same token, in the world we live in now, with the economy we live in,
Mm.
we need both parents to work. Unfortunately,
Unless you live in my country where the government helps you.
that's the catch, and like you have that liberty, we don't have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they're trying to do away with it all. To be honest with you, all
Yeah.
welfare living, they're trying to do away with it all. So I'm not going to go into it because it's not about this, about my problems over it. But yeah, um, yeah, women should have their own rights, their own decisions, and what they want to do. If they want to work, let them work. If they don't, that's down to them.
Oh, I agree on that 100%. Yes, I'm not disagreeing with that one bit. It should be what they want. You know what I'm saying?
My mum, you know about my mother, um, she worked through the whole lot. She worked even when we were kids. She would literally dump us on everyone else so she can go and work.
Do you despise her for that?
Pardon?
Do you like kind of hate her for doing that, or
No, not really. I just don't. Well, I hate her anyway, so it don't really matter.
no?
Um,
I'm not talking about the other baggage you guys have. I'm talking about her going to work.
I would, I would have wanted to spend more time with my mum, yeah. But even when I spent time with her, it was the alcohol that always got in the way, so I didn't bother.
So there's a mixed feelings behind that. You're saying
Yeah,
now, as a father, do you think she did the right thing now?
Who, my mum?
Mm-hmm.
Personally, yeah, because I enjoyed the space and freedom.
Okay, I was
Because I wouldn't have to clean up after her after she's got come home absolutely half cut every flaming night or during the day. When she wasn't working, she was at home drunk. So I would have felt cleaning up after her. So do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, you walk into the old living room, you'd have the sofa behind the front room door, and then a fireplace, the old gas fireplace, right there, and literally the whole front of it would be covered in wine bottles. So
But you
the house was always a mess when I grew up. There was
really.
She would bring home bags upon bags upon bags of frozen food and normal food. Right? It either if the dog doesn't eat it, it either defrosts and go off, or it gets chucked in a bin. Because literally the whole house was always an absolute tip when I grew up. It really was. My mum, we're kids. We're not going to keep clean, are we? Most kids do. Some kids don't. Us kids, me
Most
and my
kids don't,
younger
bro.
brother.
Most kids don't. Do you know
No,
that?
but me and my younger brother, we never cleaned up after ourselves. Our rooms were always a pigsty. The whole house was covered in crap. Literally, stuff everywhere. Yeah.
Mhm.
My mum was just too lazy. Right? She expected a 7 and an 8-year-old to pick up and clean up after her. You know what I mean?
That's. I'm sorry you went through that, bro.
Yeah. So, as I said, I can't stand my mother, so I haven't spoken to her in a little over 3 years. So,
Do you think, guys, you guys are gonna ever repair your relationship?
no, not as long as she's drinking. I won't talk to her. But yeah, getting back to the thingy back on hand. Personally, it's down to the woman's preference and what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, it would be beneficial for the child if the mother was around a lot more because it means more bonding for them. Was you there? Was your mum there for you when you grew up? Was she at home or was she out working?
I had a mixture of both, actually.
All right.
So when I first, best I can remember was my mother was working my first half of my
Okay.
life. Then she shipped me to Greece, and obviously, when I was living with my grandmother, she
Mm.
was working, and my father was working.
Mm.
So when I came back to the states, she was a stay-home wife or a stay-home mother, I should say.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Before we get in, let's get this guy in here. All right, get your hand ready, my man. Legend, please rise.
Ow!
He's loving that
Um,
cup, man.
I've got a similar sort of cup to that here, but it's got apples on it.
Coach was, I mean, Paul, what's going on, my man?
I'm doing good. So you confuse me with Coach? What? All ball people look alike? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The ball bigotry is evident here.
My bad, dude. I didn't mean to do that. But we're just opening up now. We're talking about, what our opinion are if a woman needs a job to raise a child. What's your? I know you have a different. I want your opinion, and not the opinion you had before, but your opinion in 2026.
I mean, it depends on her status and situation. Is she mad? We're talking about someone who's married, someone who's single, someone can afford to be at home. I mean, what's the context here? I mean, that's such a blanket statement. It all depends on circumstances, and even if she could afford to be home,
Mm-hmm.
then is that still would it be a bad thing for her to be outside of the home? That to me is more of an individual situation, and just from my cultural experience, I don't know many African American women who lived at home. I mean, going back generations ago, my dad's generation, women worked. You didn't have a lot of resources. If you could work, you did, or if you didn't work, you had some sort of side hustle or something.
Hmm.
So work has always been, the whole idea that's sometimes pitched in this country of, yeah, women used to be at home and the dad was the breadwinner and all her responsibility was to raise the kids and everything. That might apply to some families that again where the guy maybe has some upward mobility or he had some security that allowed that to happen. But certainly with the burgeoning of the middle class and certainly inflation and the cost of living going up, even going back to the 70s, a good portion of households were two income households again with kids. The mom, she might have been, if she didn't work in a professional career, she might have been a cook or maid or something, went and did what she needed to do for the family and came home. Like I said, some of the money might have been made under the table, but whatever it took to support a family. And you talking about with multiple kids, um, that's always been a part of our culture. So you see a lot of these content creators talk about going back to the good old days where again mom was basically had an apron and cooked and cleaned and do all that stuff for the home. I'm not saying that wasn't a reality for some, but for others, no, work was a necessity. So again, it's really going to depend on your situation. Um, that's going to dictate whether or not a woman, um, needs to work outside the home or not. Or maybe the more important question is if she wants to work out of the home or not. I mean, does it mean if you go, educate yourself? I mean, I'm not opposed to. I got three daughters who are college educated and pursuing careers. Are we saying that you can't have a career and a family? Um, I'm not sure. I would jump to that conclusion. Now, again, it can get extreme. Also, if you got two very high profile careers that take you out of the home, or someone else is raising you, then there might be some long term repercussions from that you may have to consider. There. So again, it's really depending on the situation. But again, if you're a single
No, I agree with that.
parent, absolutely you have to
Yeah,
work.
I'll use my grandmother and my mom for example. I was saying before, my grandmother, obviously, she grew up in a different decade generation than we did. So at the time, they were in a lot of jobs for women. Few jobs you could find. It was like maid was one of them. She was the maid for King Constantino the Third, the king of Greece, and so that's what she did most of her life was a maid. And by maid, I'm not saying it served him hand to toe. It was like very respectful career at the time over there in Greece for that. So she did that most of her life. When she got old enough, she didn't do that anymore. Obviously, with my mother, it was a catch. You okay with that, Greg?
Yeah, no, I just sprayed some deodorant.
As I was trying to say, my mother had a mixer. When my first half of my life, my mother worked. I went to school. She went to work. She picked me up, and yada yada yada. So she ended up getting hurt. That's why she couldn't work anymore. I got shipped to Greece, and she continued working. When I came back from Greece, she was not able to work anymore. Her health deteriorated.
Mhm.
So I was, going to school, and she became a stay-at-home mom instead. So my dad's income was very vital. We had to stretch every penny at a time. So I can see it in both sides, and I agree where your original statement is it depends on the situation.
Mhm.
I 100% agree with that. But I want to play a video that caught my attention. I
Yeah,
played this video
what I
once
was going
before.
to say is with Paul's case, I only class one woman mum, and that's my best mate's mother. She stayed at home and she looked after four kids, me, my younger brother, her own two kids, and she spent all day at home every single day. Yeah, we basically lived down at her place instead of our own home. That was like two doors up. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? She
Yeah,
cooked. She actually tried to clean my mum's house multiple times. But my mum didn't care. She kept making her dump again. So
Like, I'll use my cousin in Greece, for example. She was a single parent, all right? And this is a really sad situation. Not because she's my aunt or my cousin or my uncle, because that is a pretty fucked up situation when I tell you the story. So my aunt married this Egyptian guy, converted to
Yeah.
Christianity. He's still a Christian to this day. He's an Orthodox, pure blood guy. Really nice guy, good job and everything. But my aunt was so used to being on the streets, she did not stop being on the streets. So she used to go to work, do her thing, and then she also called my uncle and says, "Oh, I'm going to work," but she ended up really not staying late for work, saying, "Oh, she was going to the bar," since my uncle wasn't having it. Fast forward after their divorce, and he had a really good job in Egypt and in Greece. So fast forward years later, she ended up having two jobs just to make ends meet. But she could not stop being on the streets, meaning she's like going to the bars, she's like hanging out with her friends, and my cousin pretty much raised herself at one point. And obviously, that's not a good situation. But I really want to play this video because this video fascinates me because you guys are gonna see. Let's play a video and we're gonna get back in that conversation.
What do you do for a living?
I don't work.
So what do you do during the day?
Nothing.
You don't want to work?
No.
So you're just living off of his child support?
I am. And we live with our mother.
And you're proud of that?
Well, we were living with him, and I was a stay-at-home mom. He made the income.
But you can work now, right?
I can, but...
No, but you can go get a job, right?
I could, but I'm not going to. My rent's free. My food is free. My mom's the homeowner. We don't have to pay nothing.
Who covers health insurance?
I do.
What I'm going to do is give you credit, actually. Bring your child support down.
Down?
Monthly, yes, slightly. It's still expensive. $1,093 a month.
That's it?
Well, it would be more if you get a job.
He would pay more if I got a job?
No, it would be more for the child if you got a job. What do you do for a living?
I've seen that one.
Yeah, I played it before on the channel, but I want to revisit this one because this one really fascinates me. Because this blonde, what's the word I'm looking for? Bimbo, could get a job.
Yeah.
But she refused because she lives on so much child support. I personally think that's wrong. Like, if I were the judge, I know the judge don't have the power for this, but if I had the power as a judge, I would, order her, you're going to get a job now, you like it or not. That's my personal opinion, of course, but that's my opinion. So let's get your guys' opinion here. Go ahead, Greg. You want to go first?
You're right. She can go and get a job if she wants more support for that child. She lives at her mother's place. Yeah, she's got plenty of support for that child if she needs to go out and look for work or going out for work. Simple as that. And she's trying to just get greedy out of her ex-partner. Simple as that, really. She's just lazy.
Absolutely. Not denying that one bit. Paul, what do you think?
No question. And again, that's a different situation also. I thought you were talking about in the context of, again, a married couple. But if you're talking about you decide to have a child together and you decided for whatever reason not to be together, then both parties do need to have an interest in making sure that child is cared for. But again, a lot of that is dependent upon income or abilities to work. Now, again, I think in the past it used to be certainly if the woman was a homemaker, totally dependent on her husband's income, then yeah, you would get child support and you would get alimony, and again, depending, especially if you got custody of the kids, and you would think, yeah, that would make sense. But I think these days, people or courts are starting to look at one's capacity or ability to work. Let's say if you came from, again, you got an education, you can certainly go out there and get a job, but you just got comfortable with the lifestyle, and you are capable of working, then a lot of courts are saying, just like this judge said, that you need to be able to contribute to the household, or certainly when it comes to child support, there's a difference between, and I've been a big advocate of this, that when it comes to child support, the overwhelming majority of the funds given for the child should go for the child's care, not to take care of your ex or your baby mama or whatever it is. And I've been an advocate for some time now that I think child support should be audited. Like, you have to pay your taxes, and if you want certain credits for itemized deductions and whatnot on a tax return, you have to go down to the penny. If you give charitable contributions, all that stuff needs to be you need to have receipts and all kinds of things. So if you're talking about, if there's a dispute in childcare, what is that money being spent on? Is it being spent on your personal care? You, the again, the man or woman, because these days, again, women now, the fact that they are making money now. Now you're starting to see in court cases where guys are getting alimony and spousal support now, or child support, especially if they have custody of the kids. And I think that is fair. Again, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you're a woman now who I'm happy that women are making money. Again, I got 3 daughters. I want them to be balling. And unless they marry guys who can, certainly take care of that family load, yeah, they need to be able to take care of themselves. So I'm not holding my daughters back from making income. But if you choose to marry or get with a guy who doesn't make as much, I'm not against that. But again, if that thing goes awry and you're making the majority of the funds, if you're making $300,000 a year and he's making 100, and if it comes down to that sort of thing, then yeah, but that's what goes with the responsibility. And I think in the last 50 years, women have certainly made great advances in terms of income equality, even though there still may be some inequality out there. But they've made some great strides. A lot of women are very well compensated. And with that, yeah, it's going to take, it's going to, with that, yeah, it costs to be the boss, as we used to say. And so you're going to have to, if he has custody of the kids, then yeah, you're paying spousal support. And in some cases, if he was the sole caretaker while you were out there making the money and, doing all those things, high power career, then yeah, he might need to get some spousal support as well. I'm totally for an even playing field. And if you're making the money, if you're a boss, then act like a boss, whether you're together with the person or not.
I like the idea you were saying that if you have child support, you should definitely have receipts, the whole 9 yards. I like that. But
yeah, especially if there's a dispute, right? Because a lot of times it happens. Well, yeah, and how many times have we heard, especially when we were on BMU's podcast and stuff, and how guys that we knew from the podcast getting dragged back into court. The woman says, "Hey, I need more money," and you go back into court, and the guy has to spend more money. And the guy's asking, "It's like, wait a minute, what happened to the money I've been giving you? What has been spending on?" And then also, I think there needs to be a reasonable expectation of what is spent on the child. Does child support means buying them $200 sneakers? I don't think so.
I disagree with that.
You know what I'm saying? But again, depends. If you're a millionaire, I would think that your spousal
you should buy
support.
kids $200 pair of shoes. They don't need $200 pair of shoes.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, some of these courts do consider, again, it's the amount of the child support. Like if you're a 7-figure guy or woman and you're making significant money, then your child support is going to be significant. And typically people who make significant money typically live a certain lifestyle. In fact, that's a lot of times, especially in alimony cases, they always say that, basically, you shouldn't necessarily have to take such a drastic drop in your lifestyle, or they try to maintain the lifestyle that you were on all that time. You shouldn't go from being middle class to being a pauper, or from a millionaire to being a middle class. That there's a convenience or a lifestyle that you grow, or you or your kids grow up in, and that needs to be maintained as much as possible. And so again, if the guy has that kind of money and he's able to give, let's say your child support is $5,000 a month. You're balling to an extent. That's about, again, you're making $500,000 a year or something like that. Yeah, I can see $5,000 a month minimum in terms, and that's per child. I can certainly see that happening in that situation. And say you're gonna have that kind of income, then yeah, there might be certain luxuries that you're able to get, just like anybody who makes that kind of money a month, that you would give to your kids. If your parents were making $5,000 a month plus, that can afford that for you. Wouldn't they want you to have nicer things? If you may not like Jordans like that, but you like lightsabers. Lightsabers cost $1,000 a share, so or comic or whatever else that you have an interest in. So I don't judge someone's spending habits, but I'm just saying. But in those cases where you have expendable income, then oftentimes that affords you things that other people don't have, and you shouldn't necessarily be jealous that someone else is successful and they're able to afford that for their children. I don't play that. I don't pocket watch like that.
It's funny you said that, Paul. I have a video on that actually. This is gonna be a longer video, so guys, bear with me. I want you to watch this video. It's funny you mentioned that. Let's play this video because this is. Let me know if you guys want me to pause it in the middle. If you have comments, I will.
Okay.
But this is a funny. It's funny you mentioned it. Let's play the video.
Mr. Johnson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Just bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 3 kids together.
2.
Well,
You have a kid, and we have 2.
I forgot she never claimed my other one, so we have 2 kids together. She's a realtor. I'm a school teacher. She
Little
makes
teacher.
quite a bit of
Ma'am,
money.
could you please let him finish before you
I'm sorry,
keep
I'm sorry.
interrupting him?
I'm sorry.
I
This
promise
is our whole
you,
relationship.
I
has been-
promise you,
Sorry.
I'm gonna let her finish.
I
first.
can promise you I will get to you as soon as I'm done with him, okay?
Okay, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay, no problem.
Just like you could get to whatever
Okay,
you gotta
Your Honor,
do.
I am sorry.
Back to you.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Don't make me upset.
Please
like I-
don't get upset. Let's focus on the facts and the children.
Focus. All right, I'm bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 2 kids together, as I stated before I was interrupted. She makes quite a bit of money. I'm a school teacher. I only make $50,000. Kids on my insurance.
How much is your insurance?
My insurance is $500 a month.
All right.
Um,
And it's you and the 3 children on there?
correct.
Okay.
And I mean, I just need a little help. She helps everybody else, but she doesn't help the kids like she should. The 2 kids that we do have together, struggling in school, they're falling behind. I just feel like the amount of money that she pays for all the luxury stuff she has, the Louis V bag, she should put that money towards tutoring for our children or something. I see her looking at me. She know everything I'm saying is accurate, so it is what it is.
Okay.
Any assistance I can get is greatly appreciated.
Okay. Now you said you want to increase child
Increase,
support.
yeah.
How much money are you getting right now from her?
$450, and I feel like I don't know how she finessed the system like that to, yes, y'all may need to look into that too.
You so mad that you
The
broke.
PP.
Oh, ma'am, don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
didn't tell him to be a little T.
So that's a spike I don't like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, clearly, first of all, that's the guy that you chose, which is fine. Like I said, I don't mind. And probably what happened with her is they might have been at the same level when they met, but then she, was able to become, I think she's a realtor of some kind or whatever.
Yes, she's a retailer.
So, right. So again, a lot of times, she, in her mind, she leveled up. And oftentimes what happens, again, I don't think it should happen, but it does. And again, I think this is a product of the last 50 years where, again, women are making money. I think that for a lot of them, it's like a kid with a new toy. It's like, when kids, when they get something for Christmas and they get very selfish, like, mine. I think it's the same way with a lot of women who are making income now. It's like you haven't been balling or you haven't had the responsibility that goes with income for thousands of years the way men have traditionally done. And
I
so
agree.
so for women, it's like it's my money. Whereas with a guy, generally he's going to understand, no, it's our money. And so basically she's saying is anything over what I was making prior, like she might have been making less than him when she first started, but now she's making this money. It's like, oh, this is mine. She never had that understanding that this is ours. And now they're apart from each other. And again, she disrespects him because he makes less. And I think, and that's a problem. I mean, you used to have Kevin Samuels used to talk about this all the time. He talked about this idea of hypergamy, which means that a woman generally, whatever her income level is, her respect for a guy goes up or down based on that level of income. So she's going to look for a guy who usually makes a lot more than she does. So if you're making $100,000 a year, you want a 150 and up guy, or at least match where you are. But if you're a $100,000 a year woman and there's a $50,000 a year guy, over time, they tend to look at you in certain ways. Oh, you don't make as much as I, and you're not, you in their eyes, you're not the one to be respected like that. Now, again, when women didn't work as much outside the home or whatever, I think a lot of that was generally there. But now you got all these women who getting these degrees, and again, I'm happy about that. I really am. Doctors, lawyers, business women, all that kind of stuff. You're making significant income. But the only thing that Kevin Samuels used to say is, how many men are out there that are making that kind of money? You're in the top 3% of earners. And so there's only so many of those men to go around. And then ask the question, what do those men want? They may not want someone who looks like her. They may want someone slimmer. They may want someone who doesn't have that sassy attitude. They may want other things, but she wants that kind of guy. But who, just based on the first 3 minutes listening to this, watching this video, what sensible, high-earning man would want to get with someone like that, who talks about the father of her children so disrespectfully, who not even have her real hair? I mean, just there's just so many things just looking at her. Like, now a guy may want to have sex with her, but I'm talking about, you're gonna bring into my world the way I see you treating your kid's father. I'm like, I don't want any part of that, because it may come to a point you may treat me that way. So I don't want that either. But I think it's a condition of, you got a lot of women who came into money and they don't know how to handle it. And so that's kind of the scenario that has been created. But again, I am not against, and I would tell women. I was having a conversation with my nephew not too long ago. I would say, look, for a lot of these high earning women, you're gonna have to make some changes in your mindset. That just because a guy doesn't make more than you doesn't mean he's not valuable. This guy's a school teacher. I mean, that's a respectful profession.
Yeah, I was actually about to say the same thing.
If you only weight a guy by how much money he's making, that's a very shallow way to do things. And men never chose women based on how much money they made. But it's interesting how women, especially today, income matters that much. For guys, I could be $100,000 a year guy. I could marry the waitress in the restaurant. Like, again, because we value attributes about a woman outside of her income. But for women, still, not only are they making money, they still want guys also with money. And as long as that's going to keep happening, you're going to see a lot of high-end professional women who are single and got nothing going on, because no man worth his salt is going to deal with that kind of attitude.
And that's what I like. What you nailed on a point was, yes, his job is very respectful. A teacher, he's gonna have a job. He has good. He's gonna have the benefits. You don't have to worry about what happened if the economy changed or something. Teachers are always gonna need. Like, even in my career, I'm a chef. I always will have some type of work. People need to eat no matter what. If it's in healthcare and restaurant or whatever, it's still a respectful job. Yes, it doesn't pay the greatest sometimes. Sometimes you're too many hours in your feed, too many hours dealing with the bullshit, whatever, however you want to break that, as a teacher, as a chef, whatever. But it's still a very respectful career. And she just belittles him in front of the judge. That is
And think of what she does in front of the children. I mean, so what is she?
Oh God, don't get me started on that.
So that's what I'm saying. So I mean, that type of person, she thinks that she's got her bag, her expensive bag, and all those trinkets that she has. But it's not it's not conducive to the children or the situation. So this is a case where, now again, but I think she probably had that kind of attitude anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So Sometimes money reveals who you are. It doesn't change you,
Absolutely.
but money, I think, reveals who you really are, and I think we're seeing that.
Yeah. Before we move on, let's get her in here. The witch doctor is in the house. Mariana, what is going on? How are you?
I'm good. I just had a little discussion with my sister. She accidentally lost her card, so I had to put a freeze so nobody accidentally do any
Oh, that's not good.
unauthorized purchase. Yeah.
So tonight's topic is a woman does not need a job to raise a child. We're watching this video. So this video is a little long. So if you have a comment, just let me know and I'll pause it. All right. So I'm gonna
Okay.
pick up where it left off.
Okay.
Teacher, that was on him.
Listen.
I'm a
I done
hustler.
tell you to
like,
sell the little houses you sell either.
little houses,
Little houses.
but you taking me to child support court. Oh, okay.
'Cause I need your- I need your
okay.
little- I'm not
okay.
ashamed to say I need your
okay.
little money.
Okay, go ahead.
It is what it is.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I got choked up.
I'm sorry too.
Yeah,
Lord.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that
I'm
you got
sorry.
your little
I'm sorry I ain't
job
got
and you
in-
need my
in a
little
relationship
money.
with you, honestly.
No, I've been told you couldn't handle me. You couldn't handle somebody like me, but you kept at
I
it.
won't
You
want
knew
to.
who I was.
I didn't get my
You
first
knew
gray hair
who
until I met
was.
you, though.
You knew who I was.
I-
You're a whole
I
teacher
wanna
and you're
forget who
asking
you
for tutoring
was.
for our children.
Yes, that's what they need, don't they? So they can
Okay.
provide
Okay.
their kids with all of this
Okay.
luxury.
Did y'all want me to
Look
step
how,
out?
Look how fly.
Okay. So not only she's belittling him right in front of the judge, she's
Yeah.
also saying you couldn't handle me. So he knew what he was getting himself into. It sounds like.
Yeah, and I again, to her point, I think she makes an accurate point. If he knew that's how she was, why are you going to have a baby with her? And what have I always said on this? What
There
have
you
I
go.
always said?
Yeah.
If she can't be your wife, she should not be the mother of your children. And I don't even know if these two were married,
Yeah.
but you chose to have 2 babies with her. Bad mistake.
Yeah.
Until you're married to them, unless she can demonstrate that she can be the wife or the mother of your children, you should not. But again, guys want to put the cart before the horse. So on this, I gotta give, he's got to take the L for some of this also. He is just as
agree.
responsible for creating this situation. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have to, pay her fair share of child support. But I tell brothers all the time, and all these hyper masculine men saying, "Hey, this is what we do, and we do this and that or whatever." I'm like, this is the scenario that you create, and then you get on podcasts and you complain about the situation. You complain about the child support system, but again, you never wifed her. And quite frankly, the way what she just said, if that's how she always was, why would you want to get with that for the long term? Why would you want to have children with someone like that?
Yeah.
But guys, don't listen to me. But but we see guys like this all the time. And I'm getting to a point now where even in this situation, as vile as she is, it's very hard for me to have empathy for a guy like that who is an educator. What are you teaching your kids? If you got a son, in terms of what type of woman to get with. So again, I gotta spread this blame to go around for sure.
Yeah, and I can remember what you're saying, because if she knew how she was, why the fuck did you marry her, dude? Why the
Well,
fuck?
I don't even know if he married her. Did it say that they were married? They just had kids together. I don't know if they were married.
Okay, let's say they didn't they were married. They were just a couple. Why
Then
the
you don't
fuck
have
did-
kids. I'm pretty black and white on this.
Oh, I agree. This is one thing
Do
we
not
agree on.
have kids until you're married, and married for a while to determine. That's why I said with my situation, my wife, we were married over 2 years, almost 3 years before we chose to have children. Because again, I wanted to get over the honeymoon phase. I mean, are we going to be able to live together? And can I have assurance that she would be a good, good to me? And does she have the qualities to be a mother? And I think couples, you're doing yourself a disservice when you don't give yourself that time. And we see this too much, especially in my community. We see this way too much.
I can have.
Believe it or not, bro, it happens in the Greek community too, in all the communities, and it just a different shape or form. So I think what you said, people were like, "Oh, this is how we do it. We're men." Be smart, dude.
I
Be
have
fucking smart.
first-hand experience on that.
Go ahead, Greg. Say what you're gonna say. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, what Paul was saying about having children way too soon. Dude, I was 16 years old when I had my first child.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Nikki got pregnant when 2 weeks after we met. So, yeah. What else was it? It's mothers don't work out right. They're just literally, some women are not meant to be mothers, and I can vouch for that. A lot of mothers that I've been with aren't meant to be mothers. They really ain't.
So you know the old saying, Greg. You know, anybody can be a dad, but not
Yeah.
everybody can be a father. Or is anybody? I might have it backwards. Whatever. You know what I meant.
I got you.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I also say the same thing for women. Not everybody can be a mother, but some people can be only a mom, but not a mother. Am I making sense here?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
When I was 16 years old, I used to get a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning. My ex-partner, because my daughter wouldn't stop crying, she slapped her around the face at the age of 3 months old. I had to physically take my daughter out of the relationship, out of that house. So, yeah, I wouldn't. It's just fucking awful. Sorry, my language. It's just fucking awful. It really is.
See, people say, see the cute side of being a mother, like, dressing the kid up, taking him out, all that stuff. But behind closed doors, and Paul is going to vouch for this, it's a lot of goddamn work.
Definitely is. Bloody tiring.
Am I right, Paul, what I'm saying?
No, it's a totally different occupation. No, again, being married is easy. Being a parent, that's a totally different thing. And like I said, I don't think a lot of people talk about this stuff in the courting, right? In the dating. Do you want to be a parent? And if so, why? I mean, again, these are like the type of conversations that people need to have, but you're having so much fun and you're having so much sex and you're having just the time of your life. But it is the biggest responsibility you will ever have is raising children.
It's the biggest bloody gut punch you'll ever have in your life, having a child.
Yeah. And I think that people are just way too callous in their approach to things. But these things shouldn't happen at the rate that they're happening. But everybody just wants to do what they want to do. And we were talking about on our last Gray Area show, right? About, again, conservative versus liberal or progressive or whatever you want to call it. My thing is what works. I'm asking the question, is this working for you? If you don't want to be conservative, if you think, okay, family values guy, Mr. Conservative guy, I'm asking the question, is this working? You having kids outside of marriage, is that working? I mean,
Nope.
Yes and no. The answer is yes and no.
mm,
That's all you can say to it. It's 50-50, to be honest.
I don't see the advantage. I mean, I can bring up statistics. Children that are brought up in two-parent households do better academically, better relationships. It's just across the board. Now, again, you're always going to have the exception. We had a president who was raised by a single mom. I'm not saying you don't have exceptions.
It was his mum was Scottish, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, Obama. Yeah, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, it's better to be in a two-parent or a husband and wife relationship.
It'd be better, way much better. But I was brought up with my mum and she was single
Mhm.
for several years. But you already know most of my past anyway. So
Yeah. I'm just saying, you increase your art, and all you can do is about mitigating. Like I said, you can be in a two-parent household and come out bad or whatever. I'm talking generally. This is general advices that I'm giving in terms of people, how they need to be operating. And when you put yourself in this situation, you get these type of outcomes. And we don't even know, again, I don't know how these kids are going to turn out, to be honest with you. I don't know how long ago this case was. I don't know when these kids, get 16, 17, when they become adults. They're going to, because this is going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
So imagine you growing up, you become a teenager, and then you see your mom and dad, how they're treating each other on YouTube because YouTube lives forever.
Oh, I totally agree.
So you're going to be exposed. So again, they are so much into themselves, they do not understand the consequences of their actions. And this is why I get so passionate about, at least in this. If I'm a conservative about anything, I think I'm pretty liberal in other areas of my life. But if you want to label me a conservative, I'm saying in this, it is better to wait until you are married or whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it common law or live in or however you want to call it. But if you can't commit to that person, don't have a kid with them.
Agreed.
Until you are ready to be a parent.
Agreed.
You can be a great husband. You can be a great wife. That does not mean you're going to be a great parent. And I respect the fact when men and women are saying, I don't want kids. I respect the heck out of that. Because you're going to save years or decades of consequences by not being selfish and bringing kids into this world that you didn't want. I would hate to be that and imagine a child having to grow up and live with that saying, oh, I was never wanted, or I was a man.
Paul, it sounds like you're far from your mic.
Am I?
No, yeah, it sounds quite nice. I can hear him clearly on the TV.
All right, maybe it was me. Go ahead.
Okay, so but I'm just saying, but I was told that I'm an accident, by the way. So my mom told me that. I'm 6.5. My brother is 6.5 years older than me. My other siblings, they're very close in age. They're like less than 2 to 3 years apart. I'm 6.5. They weren't trying to have any more kids.
So you're the youngest one, right?
I'm the youngest. And it just so happened I'm that in their last days, I was also the one that took care of them in their last days. So I just leave that up to God. God knew what he was doing. He's like, no, this is not gonna work out. They need another kid. So boom. That's how I rationalize it in my mind. They didn't want me, but God said, yeah, if you guys are gonna be taken care of, you need another one. So boom, there you go. But yeah, I was told, yeah, they weren't trying to have any more.
May I ask a question to you, Paul, really fast?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned on this panel and on other shows that you went through a lot being raised by your mother and your father.
Yeah.
Did your siblings went through a similar, or did you get the blunt of it?
Yeah. The difference between them and me was two things. One, because they were relatively close in age, they kind of went through it together. That makes a difference. The fact that I was 6.5 years older, I was somewhat isolated in terms of that. The second thing was with my mom, especially with her schizophrenia, that came on later. Like they remember, like my other siblings, they remember two sides of my mom when she was healthy, mentally healthy, but they saw the degradation. They saw when she basically went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I only knew crazy. Like all the craziness that I saw growing up, they all saw it, they all experienced it. But there was another side of my mom where, it was better. They remember good times with my mom and dad. But then when things went apart, when she started going off the rails and my dad's drinking got very heavy and whatnot, the family got split up and everybody was living in different spaces. Then, yeah, that was the hard part. But me, when I came up, as early as I can remember, my mom always was different. And my dad really wasn't in the picture of my life until I was about 13, 14 years old. He really wasn't around. So I lived with my mom until about age 13, 14, and then I moved in. I lived with my dad and my brother. So I saw both sides of that. But yeah, so that's the difference.
All right. Does anybody have anything else before we get back to the video?
Well, let Mariana catch. Yeah, I don't think she's really said anything.
Mariana?
With that video that I saw, all I see is a big red flag with this woman. Big red flag. Like, why? And, you make a decision to go, to proceed with this woman and then having kids with her. Why? And you will not be in this mess if you didn't, plant that seed to begin with. So, which is very unfortunate. This is why it's crucial. Before getting involved with that person, you want to see how this goes. If this is meant, I'm going to have, kids with this woman. If not, don't even proceed it. He should never have been in that mess to begin with. To have this type of situation to what I'm seeing here, that I will say I'm very traditionalist because I know what I grew up. This is a big shame in my culture. From my mom, very, God rest her soul. She tells me if they see this, they will spit you in the face. This is an embarrassment because it's like you will deal with a woman that only just want money out of him, and he over here working. This is a disgrace, basically. That's not how we're supposed to be raised. Women supposed to be take upon themselves and help out too. Can't be just laying around and depending on money like he's a human ATM machine. Because that's what I'm getting from this woman. So it's a disgrace, I would say. I mean, I don't like the fact that I'm just gonna have my nails done, my hair done, and all I get is child support, but the money is getting is for her own benefit, not for the kids' benefit. So it's in a way it's a disgrace. That's a woman should also do their part. Can't be just like having like the time of her life and just think that she could like she doesn't need to work. She had to work too. Doesn't work that way. So
All right. And I agree with that 100%. So, all right, you guys ready to get back to the video?
Yeah.
She is. I had to go to Ross before I came here and buy this little old get up. Look at her.
Did y'all need me to
goodness.
leave while you all finish this?
You gotta leave.
I'm
'cause I need
sorry.
some help.
I'm
I know if
sorry.
you leave, you might not come back. It's a long
You're
day.
absolutely
So,
right.
But
I'ma
he's
let
been
you
throwing
finish.
daggers since he got in here. I ain't
let
say
you-
nothing to you. You so mad. It's okay.
I'm gonna hit the mannequin challenge on her right now. Just be quiet.
All right.
Okay. Is there anything further before I move over to her?
Nope.
Okay. Now, ma'am,
Yes.
first off, don't call him a little teacher. That's not nice. Don't do that. That is not nice. He is a teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't be sorry.
sorry.
Just don't do it.
Okay.
All right.
I won't do it.
Now, what is it you want me to know?
Your Honor, look, I am just trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have different paths. He chose to be a teacher. I chose to be a real estate agent. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I just be getting slack from him because I'm in real estate,
Do y'all
Like,
not get
I do-
along?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
The
Okay.
truth.
First of all, all this
No,
that she-
excuse me. Wait a minute. Wait a
all
minute.
this that
She
forgot
said
that.
that she was going to give each one of our turns to talk, right?
You
already-
interrupted
You
me
did
the whole
interrupt him a
time.
couple of times, though.
Okay.
I'm just
So,
saying, all
he
this
was
shit
due to
is
give you
because
one.
Okay.
Your ex is trying to
Okay.
flip houses. He let you keep them, and that's how your business started. So if you go keep it 100, keep it all the way 100.
Okay.
Factor is
oh my God.
That's it. I can't have empathy for that guy. He even told the background at the end there
Yeah.
how she got into the real estate. Her ex told her, I guess, how to flip houses, and that's how she's making money flipping houses or whatnot. So again, he knew who she was, but you still fathered 2 kids with her. So again, I'm sorry. I try to be, I try being the male advocate or whatnot, but I find myself scolding men more so than being some male support guy. I just
Dude, like you're 100% right. He put himself in a really bad situation. He got fucked in the ass in this situation, and guess what? Now he's crying wolf.
Yeah.
Come on now, dude. Like you know how she said it. He said himself, "Oh, your ex helped you start your business." Okay, good for him then. I mean, good for her. She has a successful business. There's nothing wrong with that. If they don't even get along, they can't even be in a room out arguing. The judge came, stop and shut them up for 2 minutes. That tells you a lot right there.
Yeah.
It does, but it don't.
Go ahead, Greg. What are you gonna say?
Well, from what I gathered from what he was saying before you paused the video,
My computer crashed actually.
he
but
was neglecting the kids. She neglected the kids, and she'd rather put others first than put her own kids first. Basically, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I see. I
If
see
you
your
get
point.
what I'm saying, that's what I got right at the beginning of it. That she was actually putting money into other people's pockets and putting money towards her own kids, or even looking after them.
I work.
Does anyone remember that little convo that he had with the judge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
She's making more money.
Glenn is
How much?
100%.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
much it is
denying the
over there.
neglect part, Greg. But what I am arguing the fact, and me and Paul are arguing the fact, he put himself in that fucking situation, bro.
Yeah,
Can you deny that?
I do.
All right, let's continue the video really fast before my computer decides to crash again.
Saying all
He
this
was
is
due to
really
give you
because
one.
your ex, the child used to
Okay.
flip houses. He let you keep them, and that's how your business started. So if you go keep it 100, keep it all the way 100.
Okay.
Okay.
But what did I do? I used what I had, right?
Not for
to
tutoring.
level up.
Not for
to level
tutoring.
up.
Not
to
for
level
tutoring.
up. To level
Not
up.
for tutoring.
Okay, so you're mad.
I am mad.
Your Honor,
My kids can't spell. My
Sir.
son in the 7th grade counting on his fingers. That's
Sir,
embarrassing.
but they live with you. You go to work from 9 to
Well, how
5.
about
My
you
schedule
help?
is flexible.
You can
So
help.
with that extra time,
Mr.
what
Johnson.
should you be doing?
Mr. Johnson.
You should be helping our children, right?
Mr.
You
Johnson.
should be helping our children,
you,
right?
You said you were going to do the mannequin challenge, right?
Sorry.
So no loud outbursts. Don't be so mad. You're here today for me to help you, right?
Right.
Okay. So you can't get in your feelings and be distracted from what it is that you want.
Catch flights.
Can you
Okay.
Not feelings. Catch flights. Not feelings.
Okay. Now
Don't catch these
Catch
hands.
flights. not
continue.
feelings. Okay, so Your Honor.
That was a stupid
Basically,
statement.
he's upset because him and I are no longer
That's a
together.
stupid statement.
I'm
That
not
is-
upset.
that
It's
is-
a
that-
black.
Go ahead,
He
Paul.
said you gonna. I mean, he just said in court in front of a judge, you can catch these hands. I mean, you're setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up for more.
Actually, there's a threat, and you can get charged for that.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. And again, when folks are in their emotions, no discipline, and you wonder the life that he has. But I mean, that in and of itself could have stopped right there and been like, "What? What did you say? You issuing threats in my courtroom?"
And I think she missed that too, to be honest with you.
I mean, you know, I just, you know, I just, you know, I said, you know, people, you know, life's about.
I always tell the younger generation of me, if you are getting to the point you're emotional like that, you know you're doing something stupid, just stay quiet. Just shut the fuck up and don't say anything. It's better to say nothing than saying something stupid and regretting it. Or getting yourself in trouble, like he almost did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, catch his fucking hands. Come on, dude. You're a man. First of all, you're not supposed to hit a woman. And number two, you're just in front of a court of law. And everything is recorded there.
Yeah.
What a,
Yeah.
what a dumbass. All right,
I'm sorry. I just saw that.
No, you good.
And I was just like, whoa. I mean, that's just, you know,
Oh, you
dumb
good.
decision on top of dumb decision. But I'm done. You can go ahead. I just
Okay.
It's a blessing in disguise.
That is the real.
Don't
You
say I'm
still
upset.
like her?
Yes.
No.
It's okay.
I need the money, the financial
It's okay.
support.
Oh,
You
okay.
can like
He
me.
need the
I don't
money.
even
We
like the
got
houses. I don't even like
history.
the
You
houses
can-
she sell. They fall apart.
It doesn't
Period.
matter.
They fall
It doesn't
apart.
matter. But you got me here for my money.
Ma'am, are
You
The
you,
falling apart houses is what's gonna make you money, right?
ma'am, are you selling lemon homes?
No, ma'am, I'm
Lemon.
not. No, ma'am, I'm not.
They
I am
ain't-
a flipper. Flipper.
Okay.
Flipper.
What is a flipper exactly?
So basically what you do is you purchase a home and you fix it up and you sell it.
Okay. That sounds like a nice little income.
Correct.
Right? How much are you making?
I'm making $150,000 a
Okay.
year.
All right.
First of all, the inspector, everybody for these houses, our family members. So they say it looks good.
Oh
People move
my
in.
goodness, really? But what
My
do you
bad.
and the kids stay in? You stay in one of my flipped houses, right? Right.
Y'all stay in the flipper?
Right?
We stay in the flip.
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
So what's the problem?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, that's not a
I can't
legitimate.
afford
you-
that, so I gotta stay in the flip.
That's not a legitimate
I gotta stay.
argument
So
then, sir. If
mad.
you're
You
if
so
you and the
mad.
children are staying in the home, you can't try to use it. What you say, throw a dagger? You can't throw a dagger at her
Yes.
if you and the
Yep.
children are
Dumb
living in
again.
one of these, as you call.
again. So
Keeps adding
you're
it.
criticizing her business, but you're living in one of the houses that you're criticizing. Yeah, that makes you very intelligent, and it also says you probably weren't, you didn't make enough money to be a father to live in a better home anyway, so you're not even ready for this. You had no business being a father. I appreciate that you're a teacher, but again, if you want to raise children and you're not in a financial position to put your kids in a better living situation, you probably shouldn't be having kids, and you really need to think differently about having them. Again, decisions.
Bad
I
decision.
actually agree with Paul on that one.
Yeah.
He's just setting himself a failure. Every single time he opens his mouth, he's just adding more to fuel fire.
Quick thing for you, Paul, Peter. Hit the space bar. Stop using the mouse. All right. When you're playing the video.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, cool.
Call it houses that are falling apart. That doesn't say much about you, does it?
And when we were together, Your Honor, I asked him if he wanted to get on game. He didn't. So now
I don't
he's
want to do
upset.
the
He should've
illegal
taken
business that they
the
do.
opportunity.
Tell them about the fake PPP loans y'all be doing and all that.
Oh, word.
Yeah, we gonna,
Word. Is
I
this
figure
what we
if I
doing?
can't get child
Is this
support,
what we're doing?
I'm gonna get 100%
Is this
custody
what
of
we're
it. Yes, we are.
doing?
Did you know some drivers have saved up to $700 a year simply by switching their auto insurance?
Sorry, guys, give it a
Most people
second.
just keep renewing their policy without ever checking.
What
Oh,
all
okay.
PPP loans
okay.
you got? She said
Your
food
Honor,
stamps, Your
I didn't
Honor.
get no PPP loan.
Yes, tell
no,
about
I
the
did
food
not.
stamps she's selling on the side though.
Word.
Tell them about that.
Word.
Yeah.
Then you
yeah.
just, do I need to bust out the text
Nah,
message?
I
Because you
know
just
I got
asked-
some
you just
because the kids
asked-
gotta
oh,
eat.
okay.
The kids gotta
okay.
eat. So I did.
Okay.
Wait a minute, sir. That's the second time you tried to put shame on her for selling food stamps and, you know, what you call rundown homes or lemon homes. And here it is, you're asking her for
pathetic.
the assistance and you're living in one of the houses that she flipped. So what does that say about you?
That he a broke
That I-
little teacher. That's what it
Okay, well,
says.
this, you know what
Come
we're
on,
going to
Jess.
do?
Come on, Jess.
This is not going anywhere. It's not going to get any better if you all keep going forward. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and order the child support. Now, what he said is true in terms of the child always
It's
being with him.
nothing.
It ain't funny,
It's nothing.
but it's real.
The minute that I flip one house is nothing. That's chump change.
I'm getting ready to flip over this bench if you all don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so the children live with you primarily?
Yes.
Okay,
In my flipped house.
$150,000 per year.
Correct.
All right, 2 kids. That brings your gross to $12,500. Now, I hope you weren't anticipating receiving all of that $150,000 for, or her child
Honestly,
support to
she
be
could
based
just pay
on
for
that.
the tutoring for the kids. I don't want my kids to be dumb. I want my kids to live the life that she lived. Traveling and
I
all that.
want my
That's
children to live the life that I
go
live.
pay for them to go to tutoring.
No, how about, Your Honor?
Okay,
can-
this
can-
is what this is.
Your Honor's talking.
Hold on.
So you quiet,
Excuse
Your
me.
Honor talking.
Excuse me. This is what we're going to do. Your gross is going to be of that $150,000. It's going to be $12,500. She's actually capped. So in Texas, her
Everything she said was cap. Okay.
okay. I don't know what that means,
Like them
but
caps in your mouth.
I'm going to go ahead. Silver caps.
No, he got the white ones. I paid for them silver
Okay.
caps to be removed, and now he got the white ones.
Okay.
Tell Your Honor that.
Well, moving
Tell Your Honor
right
that.
along,
Moving
her
right
net
along.
resources, they come out to $9,200 because she's capped based on her income. That brings her child support obligation to $2,300 per month. Reimbursing you for the health insurance that you carry for the children every month is $255, bringing your monthly child support to $2,550.
Okay.
God don't like
No,
ugly.
excuse
God
me.
don't
Wait a
like
minute.
ugly.
I
That's
don't
what you
get
get.
paid monthly.
Oh.
It's according to how my houses are flipped. So if I go a month without flipping a house, what? Why did you do
You
this?
better
No,
turn some
no,
more
no.
pamphlets.
Wait a
You
minute.
better
Wait
turn-
a
you
minute.
better turn some
Excuse me.
pamphlets.
I went off what
BGs is
you
hiring. You
said.
better go
You
flip.
said, Your Honor, I make about $150,000. Did you say that?
I did say that. Your
Right,
Honor. I
right.
did,
You
but-
did say
That's all,
that.
folks.
So
The cap-
that's what I
cap-
based it
Shut up.
on.
Shut up.
I can sympathize
Therefore,
with
that's
that.
what your child support amount is going to be, $2,550. So I hope you can flip enough.
That guy with him being
Houses.
homeless with the kids. Oh, sorry. With him
No,
being
no,
homeless
you were
with the
saying?
kids. I can sympathise with him on that one, where him being homeless and he's like living in someone else's house. Because I was physically thrown out of when me and her first got together and she fell pregnant with Dylan. and I was living in a house in Hove, and it was an absolute dive. You wouldn't want kids to go there, right? And then when they found out me and her were contacted together, they threw her out and took the kids. Now mine and her son and her other son, one lives in Wales and the other one lives in Lewis. But I'm still paying child support. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can't really judge him for being homeless if it wasn't his fault. What were the circumstances? My circumstances was I didn't have a choice. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Yeah. So what was his circumstance of him not having a home in the first place?
Well, he only makes $50,000 a year as a school teacher, and he's got 2 kids. Either
But still,
situation.
what was hold on, Paul. What was the circumstances of him being homeless? It's nothing to do with the money.
No, he didn't say he was homeless. He just but again, she was able to flip these homes and make one available, and I guess he took the best deal that he could under the circumstances. But the question is, if he was able to live independently on his own and to be able to take care of kids, like I said, it gets back to, again, those decisions.
So is that is that his own home and her own home, or
no? It was a home. She got into the business. So her ex-partner got her into this idea of flipping homes. So he flipped a couple homes. He gave her a couple of those homes to flip. So she started in this business with a leg up because of her ex-partner. Now, why she's not with him, that's another question. All right.
Okay.
But nevertheless, she got a leg up because he gave her a couple homes that he flipped that she could then turn around and flip on her own. She sold them. And one of the homes that she sold was to him or gave. I don't even know if she sold it, but she gave to him.
Okay. Yeah. So
to raise the kids.
What the situation was. Sorry.
I'm
I
just
thought
saying,
it was he was basically, she was getting these homes through a letting agent, and she was basically giving him somewhere to stay with the kids, which is actually illegal. I don't know if it is illegal in your country, but it is here.
No, it's not illegal here. No, it's not illegal at all. But the thing is, though, he was never just based on his income or whatnot. He wasn't in a position to necessarily buy at least a home like that with his own income. That he was dependent on.
I understand now.
Yeah.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's finish the video really fast.
Go for it.
To make that flip some more for these children. Is there anything further, ma'am?
Yes, can I just ask a question? As far as
Sure.
the tutoring, what if I take my children to tutoring?
What?
You mean like take them in a car?
Yeah, like if I take them to tutoring, can that reduce that? 'Cause
Yeah, I don't want her around me.
No, I didn't say you. I said my children. You said that your concern
Did you
was
ask
them
me
being-
a question or did you ask him the question?
Okay.
Oh, okay. To answer your question, no.
Yes.
It does not. It has no impact on that whatsoever. Transporting your children to tutoring is called parenting.
All right.
Is there anything further?
Can I go?
Oh, sure. As soon as I dismiss you. Is there anything further, sir?
I just want to say, Yana, God has blessed me in ways that I couldn't
All right,
imagine.
so now you're
I
going to bring God in this.
I just appreciate
Ooh,
you
so
for
hypocrite.
understanding
Ooh, you
my
are such a
frustration and my pain.
hypocrite.
And
Well, I didn't make a ruling based on your frustration and your pain. I made a ruling based on what the law said I can do with what's in the best interest of these children. And if there's nothing further, you both are dismissed.
Me and my little teacher money
Yes,
about
you was
to
a little teacher.
walk out with this $2,000 though.
Hi guys.
Yep. So I don't feel one way. They both deserve each other in my view. He's dumb, and she is who she is. I won't use any derogatory words or whatever, but they deserve each other. I mean, neither
Both
one
are morons, in my opinion.
They're
One
bad
nation.
at one each other.
Yeah. What do you think, Mariana?
Pardon?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a saying, stupid, what is it? Stupid do, stupid does, or something, whatever the case
Stupid is
It
what
should-
stupid do.
Yeah, so it just feels that you always think before you go with this. It was such a mess, such a messy situation, and of course it's gonna be a lifelong mess, I will say, until the kids reach 18 and they're able to move on with their lives. But Always, yeah, it was a lot of emotions. There was emotion from his side and emotion from her side. It was too much rage. So it didn't. Oh my God, this is why never plant the seed if you really want to be with that person. So look what just happened. That that is not something. You should not be in that messy situation to begin with. So it was a lot of back and forth. Not good.
It was a messy situation in general. I don't care
Yeah.
how you look at it. This
Yeah.
whole situation is messy. It's bad in general. I don't care how you break it down.
Yeah.
He put himself in a really bad situation with her.
Yeah.
If they were married, not married, just a couple,
No, you
whatever.
can tell they were never married. They were
Yeah. They weren't
together.
married.
They were never. They
Together.
were not married. They were not husband and wife.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine if they were married, how bad this would be.
Oh my God.
Well, no. Well, hopefully, my thing is again, just looking at the way they both move. I think again, neither one of them is intelligent to even figure it out. Like I said, all I can do is play with the numbers, right, or play with the odds. That if you're married to somebody, if you can commit to that, and you hopefully you live together and you find out things about a person, you can really see how they really are once the honeymoon phase wears off. You can really know what you're dealing with. At the very least, even if the relationship doesn't last, you still don't have kids with them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, now, again, back in our day, we didn't have this. But again, those kids are going to look at this video.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's right.
And they're going to see how awful they were to each other. And what's that going to do to their view of relationships?
Yeah.
So again, your actions have consequences. But Pete, I did want to share something, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could just share my screen, you might have to bring it up. But let me just get let me just pull this here so I can get this to work. Window. Yeah, I just want to show this slides. I did look up because I want to get back to the main topic of the night, talking about does a woman have to work? Yeah, see if you can bring that up. So these are a couple stats that I saw. Basically, the whole idea of like the double income home or the dual income home. So again, if you go back to like 1965, you still had a significant number of households that where both spouses worked. Like, sometimes this idea gets promoted. They're all back in the day in the 50s and 60s, all the women stayed home. That's not true. And in the African American community, it definitely wasn't true. Like I said, my parents' generation, they always had. I'm sorry?
Does that cover the world or just America?
No, it's just the U.S.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just saying, but you might find a similar in many developed Western countries.
Yes.
You're probably going to find something similar.
Yes.
But even in 1965, you still had almost half of households had two income. There still might have been an income disparity of some kind. But again, the number of homes where only the husband worked, and certainly that's declined over the years with the cost of living and inflation and everything else. The cost of things have gone up. And certainly women working where the wife only works, that's still, and this was through 2010, of still a relatively short number. Again, women aren't used to being breadwinners for the home, regardless of the money they make. Like I said, I think a lot of times the views of a lot of women is it doesn't matter how much I'm making. If I'm gonna be, in that position, few women are, how many women are comfortable in their spaces, knowing that they make significantly a lot more money than their husbands? What's that dynamic like? Like I said, if you're not used to something, it's difficult to live with that. But clearly, in generations past, in the 60s, it was the expectation that either the husband was the breadwinner or they made money together. I got one more slide. This one here again. So this counts it in the number. So again, 1980, you had again the dual income. You see how much it's gone up from? It went from 6 million in 1980 through 2018, over 12 million. So again, it's doubled in this time in terms of double income homes, and the household where only the husband and the non-working wife, that's gone down again, almost the other way. It's half now, but you still have, you still have those situations. So again, with the economies the way they are, with times changing the way they are, you're still gonna have this. But again, I don't want this narrative of, oh, well, there was a time where women didn't work. No, women always work, especially during World War II. Women built the military in World War II. All those guys were fighting. All these women, they needed resources in these factories to the B-29 bomber. Women built that. That famous picture of the woman with the arm. She's doing.
Yeah.
You can do it. I forget the name of the woman, but that was all because women went to the factories, and they built the equipment and the bullets and everything while the husbands were at war. So again, this narrative of women, can you have a good household or whatever without do you have to work? I mean, that's just been reality. For 80 years, women have been in the workplace, now getting more prominent positions in the workplace. But the situation I'm seeing now is, yes, with that income, can you respect a man? If you are educated, college, doctor, lawyer, PhD, professor, whatever it is, could you appreciate a blue-collar guy who's making his fair share? He's making 80, 100K, which is still 10, 15% income in this country. Could you live with a guy like that? And can it be our money? Can you live by one pot? Yeah, it's easy when he's making all the money and you want to say, okay, one pot. But if you're making the money, is it one pot? Or are you going to be like, oh, he's going to have to work. He's going to have to pull his share in. Why? What's wrong with a house husband? If you want to stay home as a man and take care of the kids and do the domestics and all those things and go to the PTA meetings and all that, and the woman, you go out and work, this is, again, a lot of guys in the manosphere don't like it when I say that. But I'm saying, what's wrong with that? And if ladies, if that's what you want, if you want family, if you want legacy, you got to understand there's few guys who are making that kind of money. And more times than not, it's interesting that, again, Kevin Samuels used to say this all the time also. If I am making that kind of money, I might want a more traditional woman. If I can make enough money to support both of us, yeah, I may want you home making, baking cookies or whatever, whatever the homemaker. If I'm making $500,000 to $1 million and up, you don't necessarily have to work. But again, if you're an accredited, if you're a degreed woman with, work experience and you want a career, if you need that to be fulfilled, then that guy may not want you anyway, because he may want somebody who's going to be solely dedicated to raising his children.
Yeah.
So women are kind of in a quandary right now in terms of the supply of high income men and their attitude when it comes to how you value a man based on his money. Cass used to have shows where a woman would divorce her husband because she didn't think he was ambitious enough. You broke the family up. He was very good. He's a very good father to her kids, which she admitted. You broke up your family because you didn't think he earned enough, but he's a great father and everything else. So again, I think there has to be a change in this mindset here, ladies. In this new reality where, yes, no one is saying, women, y'all need to go back in the kitchen. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not telling my daughters that, and I'm not telling any woman, we're not going back to the 1940s, the 1950s. And even if you did go back to the 1940s or the 1950s, as I said earlier, both people worked. But what I am saying is your attitude needs to change. And that recognize that a man is more than the money that he makes, his strength, his protection, his mindset, his wisdom. The role model for your children, how a man is respectful to his wife. What he's teaching her daughter what to look for in a man. A man is much more than his money.
Yeah.
And if you're making money, then what are you worried about? but he's got to be, I'm making $300,000 a year. Oh, my man has to be making at least that. Why? I'm asking women that all the time. Why does he have to make as much as you do? And that's something that ladies, you bet if you want down the line, or you're going to have a lot of single mothers raising kids, and it's happening. A lot of these high income, especially some of these famous women, they're getting the IGF treatments and getting getting donors for kids, and just choosing to raise kids on their own. They want kids, so they want them, but you don't learn how to live with a man. And then again, what is that kid gonna grow up with? I think kids, if it's best. I'm not saying it has to be perfect or always. It is best when you have a mother and a father in a loving, caring relationship in the home. I'll take that over any situation, exceptions included. That is always the better situation. And ladies, with your education, look at the numbers. And you guys better figure this out. That if all you look at with a guy is his paycheck, none of us are going to do well. I mean, we already got declining marriage rates now. Young people are like, they don't want to get married. And so this is going to be a crisis, just like it's happening in Asia, where people aren't marrying, in Japan and all these countries where folks aren't getting married, in these Western developed countries and nations. I don't know what it is in UK, Craig. I don't know what the marriage rates are. Are people still choosing to marry, or the marriage rates going down, or people are just opting out? I don't know what it is over there. But in a lot of these developed nations,
it's very rare to see someone actually get married.
That's what I'm saying. So we better figure this out, or all of us are going to age out and die. Or you're going to have these people who just, all these people who grew up with a family structure. I mean, my nephew, like I said, when he was here, he showed me this video of this famous place where it's a bash. It's like African American history and legacy. Families have been coming to this island every summer, and guys talk about, oh, how great it was because I was there with all my cousins and everything, and how. But all of that was based on family. Family is the first institution. And it is the institution that builds everything else. You can't build a society without family. And that family starts with a husband and a wife, however you want to define it. Partners, whatever you want to define it. But men and women, we got to get together. And any fantasies, what you're getting out of Instagram or social media in terms of what success looks like. Because if you think that lady, I don't care if she's making $150,000 a year. You think that's successful? Does she look like a successful person? Even the guy who's the school teacher. Even the guy who's the school teacher, is he successful? I mean, look, I'm like, the only thing he's got going on is being a teacher, but I'm starting to even say with him, what are you teaching the kids? If they saw your lifestyle, if those kids, what if those kids in your class saw this video? Would they respect you as a teacher in the way you conduct yourself? So again, people have got to start thinking
Sorry, who the hell is that
differently.
beeping going on? Sorry, who's it? That is rather getting annoying. The beeping.
What
Sounds
beeping?
Pardon?
What beeping?
The beep every now and then. It's just going beep. It's like someone's fire alarm battery's going low.
Marianne, is that you?
No.
I don't know.
Sorry.
You're very perceptive, though.
I give him credit for that. Yeah.
His eyes very very sensitive there, or his ears are very sensitive.
There you are. Didn't hear it just then.
I think you're hearing shit.
Okay.
Everybody be silent for 30 seconds, and whoever beeps, then it's
Crazy.
Could be here.
yeah.
It sounds like it's coming from the TV. It could
Maybe.
be like one of the fire alarms on the top floor.
I don't know.
There we are.
I
Yeah, I
did hear
heard that.
something. I don't know whose that is though. I don't know. But yeah, that's where it is with me. So again, women working, that's and it's interesting with me. I'd say probably about 80%, 75, 80% of all the bosses that I've ever had in my professional career have been women at some level or another, either. And then that's like senior executive, IT director, my current boss now. I mean, my immediate is a male, but the head of the IT department is a woman. And I'm always been in those situations where I've had either direct report or the higher up is a female. So again, that I don't sweat that. That doesn't, bother me. I don't feel less of a man that I have to report to a woman. Not in any event. They treated me very well. But if this idea, this notion that women having to work, some do. And even if you work by choice, I don't think that's necessarily anything wrong with that, but make sure you're there for your kids. Now, again, like anything else, you can work too much and not be there for your kids. If you're working 100 hours a week and the husband or the partner's working 100 hours a week, then when do you ever see your kids? When do you spend time? Yeah, I think it can get destructive at some point in time. But like I said, in all these guys talking about women back in the kitchen, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And so I think, like I said, men and women, like I said, I told Mariana a couple of weeks ago, you're going to have to make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You and a guy, Marcos, I think is his name. We said we got, y'all going to have to make a deal. Or you guys get shriveled up and nothing, but it's like, hey, you and Mariana and Marcos, and you guys just gonna work this thing out and be like, hey, we gonna live our lives, the rest of our lives together as best as we can, but we're gonna do it together. And certainly I've seen in places, being lonely, not having a village, not having a community, not having a family that's gonna, really care for you that way. That's a bad place to be in.
Yeah.
So.
So I think we all agree. This guy put himself in the worst case scenario. I think we all can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can teach at least one person today, is don't think with your dick, think with your head. All right, that's a bad saying because they both are heads technically.
I wouldn't say it as artfully as you said it, but yeah, I endorse the comment. Your emotions, or your physicality. Again, bad. It's bad when you lead with those things. Not to say those things aren't important; they are. But when you lead with those things, and put yourself in situations where you set yourself back, it's tough. And I'm just glad, like I said, it hasn't been my girls yet. My girls, they have friends who've had kids, and they've seen at their ages, or certainly younger, and they see how it can kind of set you back, and I'd say the kids are bad or the kids aren't beautiful or what have you. But if there's certain things you want to do, you need to are you preparing? Are you readying yourself for that? But then at the same time, don't think. And another thing, the other extreme is, don't think that you have to get to a certain status in your career before you can marry. In fact, I think if anything, I think it gets worse. Because the longer you wait, you get set in your ways. You're so used to living independently. Can you mentally bond with somebody and live under the same roof with some common rules or whatnot? Or are you so used to living by yourself and having your own spaces that even if you tried to live with somebody, you're basically roommates? But are the two becoming one flesh? And that's why to this day, I'm still an advocate of people getting married younger than later. for the simple fact, if you're 30, 35, 40 years old and trying to get married, it's like, you know, I'm not saying everybody. Again, there's general rules. But sometimes that interdependence that you may have, again, both of you guys making $45,000 a year, y'all can't live on that very well in this country. Put your two resources together, and then you can do something. You can build from that.
I agree on that statement completely.
Yeah.
I think two incomes can go a long way. Even I know you do pretty well for yourself if you're in IT and everything, Paul. But let's change the scenario for a second with you and your wife. If you were making 60,000 a year, argument sex, okay?
Yeah.
And your wife was making, I don't know, maybe another
whatever,
40,000.
150, 200K. Just sort of, you know, flip us basically, because that is, you know, kind of you know, how it is. But yeah, flip it. Yeah, I mean, my wife is like, it's our money. Like, money goes in. I make most of the major financial decisions are mine. And she's like, look, here, you go and you do. Because one, my wife understands that, one, I'm typically better at that kind of stuff. She doesn't like having all those kind of responsibilities and managing and everything like that. So I'm better. So look, you do it. But look, here's the money. Use it how you think it needs to be spent. If I need something from her or whatever, again, we have different accounts, but we have access to all the accounts. If I need, you know, $500 out of her account, I just go and get it. And I just tell her, look, I need $500. She's like, okay. So again, so that's not a thing for us. It's not her money and my money. It's one pot.
I disagree with that, because the only time it was not your money was when you bought your lightsaber.
Well, I asked her if I can have one. So, but generally speaking, no, we don't have that hang up over my thing. It's like, what do you need? What do I need? You know, what do we need together? What do the kids need? What's in our best interest? And we've done some things financially as of late. You know, refinancing. We've done some things, and she trusts me 100%. You know, look, if you think this is good for us, look, I'm with you. This is a ride or die, one pot house. And we've never had an issue over things. That doesn't have we always agreed? No, we haven't always agreed. But she it's generally it's you know, and I really go by, again, what makes sense. Like my big mantra these days is, again, you do what is required. So even if what's required comes at my sacrifice, it doesn't matter. It's what's in the best interest of the home, what's in the best interest of the family. And we proceed, and that's how I lead. And that's, I think, in a way, that's how I've been able to gain her trust, because she knows I'm not just going to make reckless decisions. And literally, I wouldn't buy a $300 lightsaber, but at least when I buy her. Now, could I buy it? And would she be like, you know, oh, you spent $300 on a lightsaber? Because she's not in that. She's not in that geek world like that. So she doesn't necessarily understand it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't bet if she wanted to buy a $300 pocketbook, I may think that's a little excessive. She wants a Michael Kors or whatever kind of bag or whatever. I'd be like, no, not my thing. But if you want it, but again, we're not. Again, we don't have a that kind of financial war. It's not about control. It's about, again, what works best for us and our situation. But generally speaking, I will never make an exorbitant purchase without running it by her, and she wouldn't do the same thing. Even though I kind of have the green light to do so, I just believe in keeping short accounts with her. If I'm going to spend $500 on something, she's got to know that I spent $500.
No, I respect that. I might be breaking your chops, Paul, but
that's all good. But I think it's important. No, but you raise a good point, though. I know that. But I'm just saying, but I think it's a good point to make, because, again, I think a lot of times with, you say the thing that does break up people most is financial issues, money or debates over money or financial values. And I think that's something that I think people, especially with women making more money now and men making money, and, you know, how are financial decisions made? I think, again, those are important conversations in the dating process that you have to have.
A new subscriber.
Awesome. And if you're able to do that, then I think, again, that's going to do a lot in terms of your finance. So if you want to make decisions together, if you want one person steering the ship, sometimes I don't mind. Look, if my wife was an accountant or she's like really good with money, yeah, all I'm doing is here's the check. I mean, you know that more than I do. I mean, I don't have to be over everything. If she's better with the books and managing the money and all that, then fine.
No,
But
like
she,
I said, I do respect how you guys do your. I respect your marriage. Oh, generally, I told you, like you
yeah, I know,
insecure.
no problem. At all.
I respect the fact that any big purchase, like anything, even if it's something like getting tickets for Comic Con, for argument's sakes,
Mhm.
you're gonna pass it like, oh, hey, babe, I'm getting tickets for Comic Con. Okay, cool, no problem. I'm like, she
It's
won't.
just it's
Yeah.
just a respect. I remember when we were dating. I'm not when dating, even early in our marriage. Like if someone tried to hit on one of us, we would share it when we got home. You know, she was at the gym and the guy tried to kick it to her, or whatever. She would tell me about it. Or if I ran into somebody I knew, maybe a woman that I knew, I told her when I got home. It's just total transparency. Like there's no secrets. There's no his and hers or whatnot. I mean, it's
Have you guys
just
ever been in a situation like you guys are walking or somewhere over the years and you bumped into one of your exes or she bumped into one of your exes?
no. I mean, if anything, I mean, obviously, look, I may have noticed a nice looking woman. She may have noticed a guy. Sometimes she'll point out the woman to me. You know, one time we were just recently last week, when we were in Atlantic City, we were going up an escalator, and this woman had a dress that really the bottom of the dress was at her butt line. And we're going up an escalator. And my wife and I are looking at each other like, it's kind of like we're going. I'm trying to keep the vision down. So hey, how those Yankees doing? You know, I mean, it's so it's stuff like that. But we have fun with that. You know what I mean? But there's
There's nothing wrong with that. I
yeah,
respect that, to be honest, you guys.
yeah.
If
But
you guys,
there's
you guys are so
yeah,
comfortable in your marriage,
yeah,
you are like they always say, you can look, but you can't touch. And like,
yeah,
and
for sure,
I respect that.
for sure.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and because you can look, and it's not that wrong. Even when I was in a couple of my old relationships, like if somebody asks my opinion, I'll give her my opinion, but it's just an opinion. It doesn't mean like I'm going to piece out my woman and go to somewhere else. No,
exactly.
it's nothing wrong. Like, even have a conversation like about an actress or a model or something like that. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, she's a good-looking woman. There's nothing wrong with saying somebody's a
Yeah,
good-looking woman.
for sure. Or a guy or whatever. So
Or
like I said, we're very comfortable with each other. And again, there's no, like I said, finances. That's never been a big. I mean, have we had our financial struggles over the years? Yeah. I mean, obviously, 3 kids in 4 years and job changes and economy and being out of work. I mean, we've had challenges over the years,
of course,
but
like
we've never had a challenge in terms of us and how we gonna get through this. And if there is a financial thing, we'll get through it. We do the best we can for now. Let's regroup and let's get the things later. When we made the decision to pay off a lot of debt over the last few years, that's been like a strategy of ours to pay our debts down and consolidate things. And she was like, again, we're on board, we're in lockstep, and we saw the success of that. And so yeah, I mean, we're very much in tune. And
Yeah.
again, she's had a really nice career with being where she's at, being in a very her career is actually more influential than mine. I get paid just because of the technical skill, but where she is, she has I think in a lot of ways a lot more relevance than I do, even though she doesn't make as much. But I'm very proud of her and what she's been able to do, and that she's never stopped being a wife. She's never stopped being a woman. I support her and what she needs me to do. We just support each other. Marriage generally, when you're like clicking, like marriage is pretty easy. I've always said this: marriage is not work, and I hate when people say that. It's not work. We're work. Our attitudes, our selfishness. It's like that's an individual battle we got to get over. Our selfish selves. But marriage in and of itself, I've never felt more empowered. I've never felt more free to grow and to be a better husband, a better father and whatnot. Marriage has been very good to me. as far as the person that I am. And so, but again, it's getting with the right person. And again, from that video that we watched, like she said, the truest thing that she said, you knew who I was from the beginning, and you still went over there. So again, who you choose. It don't necessarily go for the flashy one. Guys, I don't care if she has the Birkin bag or whatever. Character. Is she going to support you? Is she going to love you? Is she going to respect you? Ladies, what's his character? Does he have a work ethic? Is he honest? Is he loyal? Will he protect you? So all these things that, we get in our minds, what we, these fantasies that we want, what sustains family and marriage and society over time? Character. And if you think this perfect guy's just going to fall out of the sky for you or whatever, you'll be ever, keep looking for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I always said, when I meet a new woman, is like, I don't care how you look. I care about your personality more than anything, because that can change over the years how you look.
Oh yeah.
So let's start getting into our final thoughts and start closing out. How do you think about that?
Okay.
So, Greg, you want to go first? You're muted. You're muted.
Easy enough.
Yeah, you good
Women
now.
should have the right to choose to do what they like to do. If they want to be at home and be a full-time mum or a housewife, that's down to her. If they want to go out and work, go for it. Simple as that. Over. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's for this topic again, it's going to be based on circumstances. If you find yourself in a fortunate position to not have to work, and again, but if you want to dedicate yourself to raising a family, I still think that's an honorable position. I think that I have no problem in 2026 with a woman saying that she just wants to be a housewife. I think that's a noble profession and vocation. And but at the same time, if you want to be a career person, you want to be VP or CEO of a company or whatever, you can do that too. But the only thing I would say is that you can do anything that you want. You can't do necessarily everything at once. And so there's seasons in your life where, yeah, you may need to be home with your kids for a few years. But then you get back into the workforce and then you ball out and you do whatever. My wife, she was home as a homemaker for the first 6 years. So I had 3 kids in 4 years. My wife was home from 2000 to 2006 before she went back to work. But she was a homemaker for 6 years. Again, it was a struggle, especially when the economy changed and whatnot. But we stuck it out until my kids got into first grade or preschool. And then she went back into the workplace. And we've kind of gone from there. So again, these are things that you need to have honest conversations with your significant other about what makes sense, what's the smart play, what's the smart move. Sometimes that means you falling back as the man, and sometimes that's going to mean her falling back. And obviously she has the kids, so again, there's going to be situations where, again, men, you're going to have to step up and you're going to have to ask yourselves, she's going to have the kids, and are you in a position to be able to take care of her and your kids? If her income goes away for a period of time, could you handle it? And that's another reason why I'm always telling guys, yeah, you need to become the best version of yourselves and get your stuff together. It is your responsibility as a man to get your affairs in order for yourself. And then you can start thinking about, do I want to bring another person into this world? Or do I want to, bond with somebody? Because these are things that, you have to consider if you want the long term. Could you take care of a family at least for some time until she can get back into the workforce and start to contribute in those ways? And then maybe you take some time off. Maybe you want to go back to school and get another degree or to help level yourself up or what have you. Then she can come and do that for you. She could be the breadwinner for a while. But again, these are honest conversations that in 2026 people need to have. But if we're not having them, and again, if people don't start working out a new way of doing things, society's going to fail. Marriage and family is still the foundation of any nation, and until we get that right, we're doing a disservice to the generations that are coming after us. So things to think about. But that's all I got.
Well, this is a good topic to talk about. It's nothing wrong for a woman to, go back to the workforce or join the workforce after, raising her children and they're ready to go to school. I see some women still work at home because I remember growing up, my mom was taking care of us while she was also being a superintendent, taking care of building, throwing out the garbage. And I see another woman make beaded jewelry at home and then she get paid by her boss. There's nothing wrong with that. There's other ways to, make an income. Either you want to be close home and raise a family, which I'm all for that. And also you don't want to be also miss part of growing, your kids growing up so fast and then you spend most of the time, focusing on career. I think more importantly is to focus to have, take care of a family, take care, the kids, the spouse. That's more crucial. That's the missing element that that a woman is, it's like part of that. That is basically it's important to and a woman had to be humble. Like for what I see in that courtroom, it was a lot of like there was so much conceitedness from her end, and then he was like, I don't know, they were back and forth with so much emotions going on. But it's important for a woman to be more humble and basically raising a family and also taking care of the the spouse and everything. It's important for the fact that women should not see themselves down. You can lift yourself up, and also they're nurturing, caring by nature. But if you have that, because not some of them are very caring. For that, I don't see the caringness for that woman I saw in the courtroom. So, but yeah, it's just the fact that it's good for sorry, because I'm all over the place. It's important for a woman to be humbled. Whenever you want to do something, is be humble. And better off not to be so. It's not good to brag and be conceited. It's be whatever you do it in, to keep your mouth shut and be humble, whatever you do. So, and then you be rewarded later in life. It's, it's that's how it's supposed to be. And then you be blessed in other aspects in life. So that's my intake.
All right, I want to thank everybody who came up. Before we move on, I want to ask Paul a question really fast. You mentioned about your wife going back to work. Whose idea was her to go back to work? Did she want to go back to work, or did it was your idea, or was it your idea?
I think it was just mutual agreed. Now, one, I mean, I think she definitely got some cabin fever because it's not easy being a housewife. I mean, you got kids running around. I mean, there's the social interaction. Again, she had a career before she married me, and just being home, there was like isolation and whatnot. So she was, itching to get back. Obviously, we needed the money in part because, again, the economy changed. I wasn't making as much. So, but we were kind of already committed, and then there was changes in the economy with the outsourcing. So I started making less money. So, yeah, we needed her to go back to work. That was, certainly something. So, again, all those things, but those are part of the calculus. She needed to, get out and back into the field, for her own sanity. We needed the money. But again, we were able to sweat it out because I had some resources that we were able to kind of use to kind of make up the difference in the gap in the income, especially when things changed. But again, when the kids were able to get to school, so now you're going to be in school from 7 to 2 or 7 to 3. Now she can get back into the workforce, and then things just kind of progressed from there. And she was just very blessed to get into a position, where she was at. And it was, that's one of the best things that happened to us, because it also helped us out when our kids went to school. So, it's everything just worked out. But again, neither one of us was, insecure about our situation. Like I said, when things happened to me, I didn't get down like I was, feeling bad about myself. Because again, those were things beyond my control.
Mm-hmm.
But we just did what we needed to do to get into the positions that we need to get into. And then when things started to turn around, we were able to do things that other people can't. And so, but again, that's commitment, that's communication, that is one mind. She trusted me and said, look, how are we going to go about these, these things? We make decisions together. It just worked. So even in the tough times, we never got sideways. Oh, you should be making more. Oh, you're just a this or that. I mean, no, that's never been part of who we are. We never attacked each other personally for what might have been going on that may have been stresses at a time. We just did, we did our best. And again, we were able to get to this point where we're making more money than we've ever made. And it's just a nice situation. And once we get these kids moved out and, finish up with everything, then, then it's more us time, more travel. Sorry, Pete, I'm going to be asking for more PTO, paid time off. So more travels coming up. I may go to UK.
Shut the fuck up.
I may go to UK and visit Craig in UK. We may make that UK trip. So we're going to have to go see Craig and his lovely wife. Should we go over there? So I'm just saying.
So in other words, you're telling me you got more time to stream soon. Great. I like that idea.
I'm just saying, those are things that we're
joking aside, Paul, if you go away, I break your balls, but it's all.
And I'm breaking yours, so we're good.
I'm pretty big the break. That's
we're
You
going
had to come and visit me, right? And you land at Gatwick Airport or Heathrow Airport. I'm 50 miles from you.
15 or 50? 15 minutes?
50.
50? That's about an hour drive. Well, I don't know what London traffic. I don't know how the roadways are, but
it's bad along the M25 or M2, wherever it is.
Geez.
Yeah. All right,
we'll
guys.
We'll take an
Uber
Uber to your
update. And let's get out. All right. Tomorrow, Sean will be talking money, the root or the root of all evil. So let's wrap it up. Paul, you're doing a show on Thursday, right?
Me and Coach, we're going to go over coaching styles and methodologies, and then we're going to go into a series of shows on insurance. So again, life insurance, health insurance, auto insurance. We're going to be talking about car buying and shopping for auto insurance. So again, a financial suite of shows that we're going to introduce. But the next show, or we may even stretch it over a couple of shows, dealing with this idea of just coaching styles and methodologies.
All right.
So yeah.
Give me the list when we get off the air, okay?
Yep, I forgot. Yeah, I will do that.
No problem. Yeah. And for Friday, we usually do the anime unlock. The show is gonna be paused temporarily, due to David needs to leave in absence. He has some personal stuff he needs to deal with. But in 2 weeks, we're launching a new show in place. And we're gonna move things around like we always do if we have to. I want to keep this one on the air. It's called Talking with Wrestling Talking with a Spartan, and obviously the name says it all. We're gonna be talking about from wrestling. So anybody from the panel wants to join that topic, please jump in. We're gonna chop it up together. And on Saturday, I'm sorry, Greg.
I said I'll join it.
Yeah, jump in. So
I'm always happy to bash it a bit online.
Yeah, on Saturday it's supposed to be Rambo versus Punisher. I have to update. We're talking about the history of MTV. MTV just shut down. It was sad, but it is. We are having a great area this week, but we got to talk to Paul to see what topic we're doing. And
I think I got it here. Parenting styles.
All right, cool. We're doing parenting style. And for next week, social media, community or the poison. I'm going to leave to that and let you ponder on it. Except that, guys, Mr. President, last words before we go.
Nope, I'm all good here.
Mariana,
No, I'm good.
yeah. Slap Boy. As always, guys, this was a Spartan. I am the Spartan. He is Mr. President with his fancy new cup. He's loving the prototype. The Witch Doctor, Mariana, our UK brother, Slap Boy. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.